Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a product that I received from our friends at Comfee. It is a juicer, and I'm going to attempt to use this juicer to make some exciting, fun fall treats. We're going to start hopefully by making a nice apple cider using the juicer, and then we're going to use that cider to transform it into a pumpkin juice and then maybe an ice cream as well. I've never actually used a juicer before, so this is going to be a whole unboxing, setup, and experiment video. See how easy it is to use the Comfee juicer, which is supposed to be able to juice or extract the juice, I guess, from, like, you can throw an entire apple in there without even having to cut it up, apparently. So I'm kind of excited to see how that works, because who doesn't love juices? Now, when you open up the box, this was the box that it shipped in, by the way. There is another box inside. So there's definitely a lot of protection. Let's go ahead and dump this out. I mean, slowly, carefully extract it. Okay. We have another protective box with a little Comfee label. It says right here on the front that it has a 1-year warranty. So there we go. We love it when our vendors stand behind their products. And inside, we have the juicer itself. So there is not a pretty display box, but that doesn't mean anything. We don't want pretty, we want functional, right? So, although speaking of pretty, if you like this sort of minty green color, that's the color we've got here, so that looks kind of fun. But let's go ahead and take off some of this styrofoam, and I see I got it upside down. Just gonna flip it around. All right. Take off some of this packaging. All right. Got a little basket. A little, I don't know what the heck these pieces are. Like I said, I've never used a juicer before. But wow, it's got a lot of heft to it. This is definitely not a cheap product. It seems like it's got pretty good quality to it. So let's go ahead and finish taking out the parts here. All right, guessing this is some sort of little masher. Here's a little grinder thing, I guess. And then we've got some cups. Oh, a few different ones. This one's got some measuring numbers on the side. I don't know if you can see that. This one. This looks like the main part here. Don't know how this puts together. We're going to follow the instructions here in a second. I hate using instructions, but I kind of feel like this might be one time that I'm going to need it, because I don't know how all these little parts and pieces are going to fit together. But before we go ahead and do that, now that we kind of have an idea of what this is, let's go ahead and take a look at the Amazon page and get just kind of a better clue. So here we have, oh look, you can see all the pieces put together. So at least we have a clue of what it's supposed to look like. But again, this is the Comfee BPA-free masticating juicer extractor with ice cream maker function. It has 3.4-inch large chute, 55 revolutions per minute, slow cold press, masticating and grinding, high yield, quiet motor, reverse function in mint green. So this does retail for $125, but it's a Prime product, which means you're going to get free delivery if you're a Prime member, free returns. Well, I don't know how the free delivery works with regular members. You might get that too based on the price. I don't know, but I'm definitely Prime member. I highly encourage you to be one too. If you're interested in this product, make sure you get the link from the description of my video, and that will help support my channel and let them know that I referred you. But looking at the pictures here, you can see it just sort of chops up all the fruits, which can keep up for 72 hours. Has a coarse filter and a precise filter. Look, there's that ice cream. I can't wait to try some. It's not also a juicer, there it says, but an ice cream maker. So it says, let's see, whoops. Leaves the driest pulp, extra wide feeder chute, cold press juicer with user-friendly design, versatile and multifunction juicer, easy operation and cleanup, and so forth. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. Doesn't look like anybody's asked any questions, but they definitely have a nice visual display here with lots of information. Seems like a high quality product. But as we scroll down, eventually we'll get to the reviews and then we'll see what people are really saying. Oh, there are some questions, it looks like. What parts are plastic? Can you make actual ice cream? Well, this is, there's no answer to these things. Oh, I didn't know yet. We're going to try it. We're going to try and make some ice cream. Not really sure about those questions, but here we get down to the customer reviews. It's got a little over half of them are 5-star, which is good. So, you know, I like to review the 5 stars and the 1 stars. The 5 stars say it's outstanding. They've returned ones they bought from Walmart and Target. But this one they like. It says it's easy to use and assemble, less noise than he had before. Easy to assemble and operate. It says chopping required for celery juicing. Well, I've done a little bit of research on juicers, and I've heard that that is an issue all around, so I'm not really concerned with this. Easy to use, easy to clean, that's very important. This one says, though, it's no good. Let's see why. Gets stuck, makes a lot of noise. Well, the other review said it didn't make noise, so maybe they just got a bad one, a lemon. But let's see. Doesn't juice celery or carrots. Well, again, those are going to be hard things to juice anyway. Easy to clean. Doesn't juice ginger. All right, got a couple of those 3-star reviews snuck in there. Let's check out the rest of the 1-star reviews. This person says it's a waste of money. Went downhill fast because they thought it was good for vegetables, but it wasn't. So again, that's a misunderstanding. Juice came out pulpier than I like. Okay, we'll see. Get stuck. This one says it's hard to open. All right, but again, 5-star reviews kind of have some of the opposite. They say it's great and it's easy and it's the best juicer out there according to this one. So it does come with an instruction booklet, of course. Explains some things to do before use, some cautions like let it cool down if you use it for more than 20 minutes at a time. It even says right here, it's one of those reviews was complaining about. It says for ingredients with high fiber content, you're going to want to cut pieces into small 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters long. Oh, sorry, that's width, 5 to 10 centimeters long before putting it into the machine. Extremely hard ingredients such as cereals, sugarcane, and ginger are not suitable for juicing. So it kind of seems like some of those bad reviews were just people who didn't understand or even read the directions for the machine, which I can't blame them. I'm not one for reading directions all that much either, but let's see what else. We're just going to skim past this. It does show us how to assemble the machine, functional descriptions, usage, disassembly, and ice cream making method. So I'm going to skim through these instructions while we go ahead and wash out these items and get it put together and get started. All right, assembly is supposed to be easy, but I brought in my reinforcements to help. So Tom, would you please take the, yes, that is the seasoning, well, the juice cup. Okay, so we're going to put the juice cup in. It just sort of sits into place. There is a little valve here in the front that you can push or pull in based on hard fruits versus soft fruits. And there is a description in here to explain what is what. So for our purposes, we want to juice some apples, and that is a hard fruit, so we'll leave it in the hard fruit position. And now we're ready to go on to the next step. Install the filter into the juicing cup. So little filter. Install the drive shaft into the middle of the filter and press down until it stops. All right. Install the juice cup lid. Do that thing. And that just turns to snap into place. And then we've got some extra pieces here. So this is going to be to push things down from the top if it gets stuck in there. This is going to be used for ice cream if we use that, so that will be later. And then we've got 2 cups here. Again, one has the measuring on it, which I'm not sure which goes where. I assume this is where the juice comes, and this one with the little lid.
No, this is where the juice comes.
The juice comes here, and this is here. I don't know. We're going to find out what they do here in a second. So maybe we'll just make sure we can see both of those here. All right. So we just need to plug it in. Now the cord here is yay long. So they say don't use an extension cord. So let me just go ahead and plug this in. It beeped, so that's a good sign. But I think we're ready. It's just a simple 2-prong plug. But I think we're ready. The modes on here again are forward, backward, and what was the other one? I can't see it over there.
Ice cream and clean.
Ice cream and clean. So this is supposed to be able to juice an entire apple. So I have some apples here, a couple of different varieties, Fuji and Gala. So they're little different sizes. We're going to try both sizes to see if there's any difference. It did suggest for fruits that you're supposed to leave in the refrigerator to soak them for 10 minutes. I don't leave my apples in the refrigerator, but I went ahead and soaked them for 10 minutes anyway, just to see. Apparently it's supposed to make it a little bit easier to juice. So give that to my assistant. We're just going to place it in the top, and then it's got a little, I don't know if we need to dump it in first, then turn it on, or turn it on, then dump it in. We're going to turn it on and then dump it in and see what happens.
You ready?
Go for it. It's starting to spin here. It's not very loud at all. I don't know who was complaining that, wow, it just demolished that apple. All right, so that was the small apple. Let's go ahead and try one of the larger apples. Okay, it's having a little more of a challenge with the larger apple, but it just zipped right through it, no problem. Except I guess a little bit of the chunkiness is stuck right there. I'm not sure if we need to stick that in reverse to get that out. Let's go ahead and dump out some of this juice because it looks like it's getting kind of full. So that's the juice from 2 apples basically. And for our purposes, we're going to make some apple cider. So I'm going to juice about 15 apples. I think I've got about 19 in here. I might end up doing them all, just depending, because this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. So let's first, though, see what we can do about that. What happens when you turn it on reverse? Does that make it come out? All right. Well, maybe if we throw another apple in there, it might help to get that. Oh, it's already come off a little bit, so I think just shifting it around seemed to have helped. Just chops right through those apples. Wow, that is pretty awesome. And you can see the little juice. It's probably a little difficult. Let's turn this around. But first, you want to turn it off for just a second? You can kind of see some of this pulpy stuff is coming out this chute. Not a whole lot yet, so it's very wet and gross. But you can see on that side there, the juice. Do you want to go ahead and open that up and let it pour out? So this is the juice from one more apple. And there's a lot of juice still left in here, so I don't know if we need to tilt it a little bit, maybe to get a little bit more of that extra juice out, if that helps. Seems to have, because it looks much drier in here now. So clearly we're going to need a lot more apples to make our apple cider. So we're going to chop these up, and then we'll see you back in a minute. All right, so there we go. I did end up only using 15 apples, which I was expecting would get us about a liter of apple juice, apple cider. And apparently, I think this says it is a 1 liter capacity. So I'm guessing that was pretty spot on. Now it is a bit foamy. The instruction said that's to be expected. It's just from the air. It's nothing to be concerned about. So I'm assuming those bubbles maybe are gonna dissipate as we wait. So the other bit, we got quite a bit of apple slag, I guess is what they call it. And I don't know if there's something we can do with this.
Put it in the garden.
I guess compost would be, something. But for the moment, I guess let's go ahead. We're going to clean this out a little bit. It said, taking it apart should be just as easy as it was to assemble. There's nothing in the instructions that suggests we can put it in the dishwasher. So I guess just to be safe, we'll hand wash it. That might be a little bit of a downside, but there's not a whole lot of parts to clean. And this was so easy. It took just a couple of minutes to get all of that juice out, which was way easier than I thought. I think some of the reviews said it was kind of slow, but I thought it was quite fast in itself. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'll grab a couple of glasses and we'll give it a taste test. All right, so cleanup was a breeze. Basically, we just disassembled everything, took it to the sink, washed it out. It took about a minute and a half, very fast. So we gave the apple juice a taste test, and unfortunately had a little bit of a video issue, so can't share that with you, but I think we decided the juice that came out from the apple was extremely delicious. I think Tom felt it was a little bit pulpy, but overall quite good. So what we've gone ahead and done is made this into a more of a traditional apple cider. We took a lemon and an orange, just cut them in half and squeezed it in here. Now you can use the juicer for the soft fruits as well. You just change it to the soft fruit setting, peel it, throw it in there. But for us, for the soft fruits, it seems almost easy enough just to squeeze it in there and juice it. And then we want to add a little bit more flavoring to make it have that nice fall feeling. So we added some nutmeg, about a couple of teaspoons, a couple of teaspoons of cinnamon, just a little pinch of ginger. This is really strong, so add it to your tastes. You could use fresh ginger as well. Just gives it a little bit of extra zing and flavor. And then of course some ground cloves, maybe about a teaspoon of that. And then you're going to want to give it a really good stir to mix that powder in. You could cook this on the stove for a little while, let it simmer, and that's really going to help mix that in there. And a lot of people like the hot apple cider. Personally, I prefer it refrigerated. But then you can also give it a little extra sweetness, maybe with some brown sugar or some artificial sweetener. But I preferred the raw honey, so we just pour in a little bit. We poured in a little bit already. I'm going to pour in a little bit more because it gives it just that sort of extra richness with the sweetness. So again, give it another good stir, and then we're going to give this baby a taste test. All right. So here we go. A little bit for Tom. Now I'm going to trying to save most of this because we're going to turn this into a pumpkin juice in the next video. So stay tuned for that. But for now, let's go ahead, give it a taste test. Cheers. Yeah, it does definitely have a little bit of spice. I put in perhaps a little bit too much cinnamon in ours. So I think if you start just lightly with the spices, and then you can always add more. It's a little hard to fix it once you put in a little bit too much. But I think it tastes pretty good by itself.
Tastes like fall.
Tastes like fall. So that'll do it. I wanted to say thank you again to Comfee for sending us the masticating juicer with ice cream option, which we'll explore again in a later video. Like I said, stay tuned for the next video where we turn this into some pumpkin juice. But until then, again, if you do want the juicer, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Click that if you're going to make that purchase. And let me know in the comments below if you do, or if you have a special twist to make your apple cider recipes. I definitely would like to hear your opinions. But thanks again, guys, for watching. Take care. Happy haunting. Bye.